Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Tom Worth Jr. And things are starting to heat up a bit. We've got just under 6 weeks to go now. 5 weeks, 6 days, which is kind of incredible. And I think it shows in the comments from some people. People have always been kind of heated, but lately seems to be ratcheted up with some things, and I'm also watching a lot. But I'd like to say I appreciate it, and a word of advice I have given to some of the Trumpers is come at me. That's great. Try to be reasonable. Try to use facts. If I have a video about racism, don't have your comment be that I myself am a racist. It's not really, it doesn't matter. So facts are cool. Sometimes I'll actually look something up, and I'll usually find that it's not real. But I will look up some things sometimes. But also from the blue people, some of you are so angry at me personally still 8 years later for voting for Trump. And I have made multiple videos about my thought process to try to reach people like me in that way back in 2016 who maybe still haven't come around yet. I did come around in 2020. I voted for Biden in 2020, okay? I was mistaken in 2016 for a long list of reasons and thoughts and feelings in 2016 that I completely had wrong, and I've laid it all out here in some videos. But in 2020, I did the right thing. I voted for Biden, and here, I mean, it's been over a month now. I started a YouTube channel. I'm posting every single day. I've been out of town like 5 days out of the past 34 days. And I've only missed 2 days of posting, even though I've been not in my house for 5 of those days. I mean, some days I've had 2 videos. I'm doing what I can. I can never atone for it, I realize, with some of you. But I just want to say, go back to what Michelle Obama said at the DNC. Because she knows that's a kind of a Democrat thing. You guys tend to turn on each other rather than taking the fight to the Republicans. Is it why Donald Trump got elected in the first place and almost did in 2020 and is probably even closer this time around than he was in 2020? Take that venom you have for me for voting for the wrong guy 8 years ago, who then did vote for the right guy 4 years ago and started a YouTube channel this time around to try to get more people to vote Democrat. Take all of that anger and bitterness and grudge holding and just point it somewhere else. Don't, like she referred to this as all this nonsense. Just set aside the squabbling, the internal squabbling for people fighting for what you are fighting for in 5 weeks and 6 days. Just go somewhere else with it. It's not going to deter me. I feel bad for you. I know grudge holders in my life, and I'm not talking about my wife. She is not a grudge holder. She is the most kind, forgiving person you will come across. But I do know some, and man, it wrecks your life. I am here to tell you. I will hear about wrongs that were done to these people 40, 50 years ago, as if they happened at lunch today. And I would say, let it go. But that's not all we're here to talk about today. I'm also here to talk about reaching out to some Trump people on border security, which is big. And this is something I've said. It is an issue I don't think she should run on. I don't think she can win on that one issue. And here's one reason why. Trump has done a very good job of pinning things on the Democrats as if they invented this problem. And I will see something in my comments. The term open borders, it's a laughable term. It doesn't exist. It never has existed for us. I mean, even before America existed, the Mayflower came over and the Pilgrims came over, um, and they had to deal with the indigenous people. It was not an open border. Like they landed and they could meet resistance from the people who were here first. So it's a human trait. People are protective of their stuff, of their territory. They don't want other people coming onto their turf. You can go back before the 1600s in North America. You can go back to China. You can go back to the Great Wall of China. That's there. You can see it from space still thousands of years later, because they didn't want barbarian hordes coming onto their good side of the wall. You have the Roman Empire. They didn't want barbarian hordes coming in. What do these things have in common? What is America now? It is the place that people want to come to. And if you're in a place nobody wants to go, like Russia could probably have open borders if it wanted to. Nobody wants to go to Russia. No, they're not going to. They're paranoid about security. They don't want people infiltrating their territory. They might be spies or operatives or something. So you always have to secure for those reasons. But just in general, the better of a place that you have, the more people are going to want to come into it. And this is what made America what it was. Immigrants, people coming here, illegally, legally, whatever it was, businessmen bringing them over on the sly, skirting immigration laws to build things, to build railroads, to slavery. I mean, those people probably didn't want to come here, but they were brought here. And eventually slavery was outlawed. The slavery trade was outlawed, but people still got around it. They still got people in here illegally. So it is something that people will have always struggled with, and we are still struggling with it. And we had a bill that was ready to go with both sides to staff up the border with more Border Patrol agents. 1,500, I believe, was the number, and Trump killed that for his own political gain. This is well known. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. What I am saying is that border security is something that we will always have. We had it when Trump was president. He never fixed it. We had it with Biden as president. They didn't fix it. Whether Kamala Harris wins or whether Donald Trump wins in November, they're not going to fix it. That's just what it is. Because you can't fix it. America will always be a place that the people want to come to, and you've got to keep those people out. So whether the barrier was a natural barrier, or whether it was a wall, or whether it was troops, it doesn't matter. People will try to find their way around it. It's why we need to figure out a way to deal with the ones who are here. And this takes policy. This is something Trump is utterly incapable of. He will promise to do things, and he won't do the things. Think about all the, I'm going to build a wall, and we're going to have Mexico pay for it. It was laughable to everyone except for people who actually believed it. I voted for the guy. I didn't want a wall that he's going to build and Mexico's going to pay for it. I wanted processes and procedures to deal with the orderly admission of people that should be able to come in. I want laws to deal with, and services to deal with, and figuring out funding to deal with people who are already here. Get them into the system. Get them paying taxes. Get them contributing. This is what I want. If you think of any entertainer you like. Think of a TV show, a movie star, a musical act, an artist, a scientist, whatever it is. Think of anyone who doesn't look like you, which is probably a lot of people in your life. Think if they weren't allowed to be here. If they were just gone, how America would look right now. If we never allowed any immigrants, okay, say the white Europeans that came here in the 16 and 1700s. If you never allowed in the slaves, if you never allowed any other immigrants, what would America look like? What would it have done without the contribution of every single person who ever came to America, and the descendants of every single person who has ever come to America from someplace else? Which is all of us, unless you're an indigenous person, then your descendants have always been here. But no one else has always been here with all our descendants. So I would say rethink what you are asking for on immigration, and realize we don't have open borders. We have never had open borders. We will never have open borders. It's just not a thing that any country would have. So that's the nonsense. The other thing I would say is empathy. That's another thing I've talked about here. I'm wearing my America t-shirt. I think it's cool, and I've talked about this before. This is actually a new one. But I am a guy who always just loves the flag, and I love eagles. The more eagle, the better. I'm just one of those guys. But I realize that it's been co-opted by Trumpers. And if I were to go to a Trump rally right now wearing this t-shirt, I'd probably, fit right in. And if I went to someone that's not a Trump rally, it doesn't matter who it is, they would be looking at me like, aren't you looking for the Trump rally? It's just something that I don't know why, and it bothers me because I love the flag, and I love the bald eagle, and I love all of that symbolism. I love America, and I'm wearing my dang shirt, and I think we should be able to do that, and so I'm doing that, and I have that empathy for people who love America, because I'm one of them. But if you're not one of the people who love America and like true American ideals, like wanting a better life for yourself and your family, that's an American ideal. That is, and we have the American dream. That is true America. So try to have empathy for those people, and it's going to be hard for you because there's not a country you'd rather live in. So you can't get into the mind of someone fleeing from terror, fleeing from cartels, fleeing from political violence. You can't get into that mindset because you have no frame of reference. You have never experienced that before. So I don't know how to tell you to do that other than try to use your imagination as someone who wants something better for their family. Maybe on this small level, maybe you're a parent or a family and you have some kids who are about to go to a school that you don't want them to go to. Because this is where your house is. Your house is supposed to go to this school. But you don't want to. You actually want your kid to go to this school. What are you going to do? You're probably not going to move. You might look into going to the school board and seeing about their transfer policy, and you'll realize, well, everybody wants to do that, so we're not accepting any more transfers. So what else are you going to do? Maybe you'll go to a private school. Well, that's a lot of money. Probably not going to do that. Well, here's something that some people do. They will find a relative. Maybe it's a grandmother or a sister who does live in that school district. And they might use that address on the form for the kid's registration. And they might think, yeah, that's okay. I mean, it's me. It's my kid. I just want better for my family. It's fine. I'm just bending the rules here. I'm going to go. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to contribute. I'm going to try my hardest. My kid is at that school. It's fine. I just want better for my family. That is exactly what these immigrants are doing. They're coming here. They will work hard. If they could just get in, they've tried the ways. They can't make it work. Maybe they're desperate enough. maybe they are desperate enough. I'm not saying they all are. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay for those parents to do what I just described. I'm not condoning it. I'm saying it happens. And that's something that you might be able to get into the mindset of. It happens. People want better lives for themselves or for their families. And to demonize them the way Trump does it's not civilized. It's not American. It is someone who is utterly incapable of having any empathy for any other human being. He cannot relate to anyone else. So this is what I would ask of you is to just try to get in their shoes. Here's another example. Try to imagine a world where Kamala Harris wins. And I'm saying this tongue in cheek, but really, from what I see, some people actually believe that if Kamala Harris wins, America is just going to be this hellscape where everything is going to be turned upside down and it's not going to be America anymore. Maybe, okay, get into that belief. Really grasp. Really just hang on to it and say you're not fleeing south. Say you're going to flee north. You are going to make your way across the country and use all your savings just with what you can have on your back. You don't have a car or anything because, I don't know, the Democrats have somehow done away with your car. You have nothing but what's on your back and maybe some cash in your pocket and your family, and you make it to the border crossing in Buffalo or Niagara. It's up there in New York. And you just want to get out of here. You want to escape all the murder and destruction and poverty and drugs and raping and all of that stuff. And they're going to come imprison you because you're a Trumper. And Canada won't let you. You've got a big wall. You've got razor wire on top of it. You've got armed guards. You've got a bunch of people amassed at that border crossing. And you can't get in. So what are you going to do? Are you going to walk your butt back down to St. Louis and just take your chances? No. You might sit there at the border crossing hoping something will change, hoping something will break your way, hoping Canada comes up with a smart way to make all of this work somehow. Or you might pay someone to just kind of scooch you over here. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you make your way over to Detroit and try your luck over there and Windsor. I don't know. The point is, I'm not condoning that either. I'm saying it would happen, and it would be understandable that it happened, and for people to just sit there and deny that there is a draw to America from people that aren't in America, especially if it's a place they can walk from. That's just denying reality. And to say Trump is going to fix it, he didn't fix it. Like, this is the problem with Trump. All of you, like, people like me fell for some of this stuff. I never wanted the border stuff he wanted. I was a single issue pro-lifer at that time, and I don't like that I voted for him, but for those of you who did, based on some outlandish promises he made, he didn't do it. He tried to do some bad stuff, but the things he promised you, building a wall and making Mexico pay for it, he never did that. So come to your senses, I beg of you. And as for the rest, go vote. Get your friends to vote. This is all about turnout. And there are more Democrats than there are Republicans, at least registered in the U.S. And if we could get everyone to vote, then it's not going to be close. That is my hope. And that's really what we have to go on. Okay. That's it for today. And we'll talk to you tomorrow.